All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a huge shift happening in tech. It's about how AI is literally tearing down the wall between having a great idea and actually bringing it to life.
So just think about it for a second. We've all had one, right? That amazing idea for an app or a website that could solve a real problem. The kind of idea that just pops into your head and won't leave you alone.
And then the reality check hits. The coding, the databases, all that technical stuff. For most of us, that feels like running into a giant brick wall. You have to wonder, how many incredible ideas have just fizzled out right there, all because the person who had them wasn't a programmer?
Well, that's what's changing, and it's changing fast. We're stepping into this new era where AI can act as your personal co-pilot, your partner in development. We're talking about tools that can take your ideas, described in plain English, and turn them directly into working apps.
And a perfect example of this is a tool called Lovable. The whole idea behind it is, honestly, mind-blowing. You just describe the app you want to build using your own words, and it builds the entire thing for you. We're talking the front end, the back end, the whole shebang. Seriously, no coding required.
And this isn't some far-off future thing. It's happening right now. Just look at this quote from Alex Leishout. He's an agency owner, not a coder, and he's already building complex software for his business. This completely changes the game for who gets to be a builder, a creator.
So just how powerful is this? Well, check this out. Imagine writing one single detailed paragraph describing, say, a project management app. That's the prompt on the left, and on the right, that's the result. A real functional app foundation with a login page, a dashboard, all generated in a matter of minutes. It's pretty incredible.
Okay, so this brings us to a really important question. If you're not writing code anymore, what's the new skill? The answer is prompting. You can almost think of it as the new literacy. In this new world, it's not just what you ask the AI, it's how you ask it.
And this is really the heart of the matter. The difference between getting a kinda okay result and having the AI build out an entire complex workflow that actually works, that all comes down to the quality of your prompt. It's the new superpower.
The great thing is, this is a skill you can actually learn. It's not magic. There's even a framework that breaks it down into 4 levels. You start with training wheels, using templates to guide you. Then you move on to more free-form conversational prompts, and then you get to the really powerful stuff, like meta-prompting.
Let's just pause on meta-prompting for a second, because this is a total game changer. This is where, instead of trying to write the perfect prompt yourself, you ask the AI to help you write it. You're basically using the AI to get better at talking to the AI. It creates this amazing feedback loop that just accelerates everything.
Now, it's really important to be realistic here. This whole process isn't like pressing a magic button and everything's done. It's more like a dance. It's a back-and-forth conversation with your AI partner.
I love this quote from Alex because it's so honest. Yeah, sometimes it can get frustrating. You have to kind of wrestle with the AI to get things just right. But the part that gives me chills is the second half. This is the worst this technology will ever be. It's only going to get easier from here.
So you really have these 2 parts of the process. You've got the magic, that incredible moment where a whole user interface just appears out of nowhere from your prompt. But then you have the dance, the debugging part. That's where you have to go back and say, hey, you forgot to create the database table for the comment section. Can you go do that and then connect it to the front end? It's a conversation.
And this timeline gives you a really clear picture of what a 1-hour build session might look like. See? The first 10 minutes are pure magic. The AI builds the foundation. The next 20 minutes are about setting up things like databases and logins. But then, look at that big chunk in the middle. That's the wrestle. That's the back-and-forth debugging. And then you finish up with some UI cleanup. It's a real process.
So after about an hour of this dance, what do you have? Well, creators are finding they can get an app about 85% of the way to being finished. Just let that sink in for a minute. A project that might have taken a team weeks is now most of the way there in the time it takes to grab lunch and watch a show.
So, let's just zoom out for a second and think about what this really means. We are walking into a brand new age for creators. An age where the power to build sophisticated software is being handed to everyone.
So if we're going to boil it all down, here are the main things to remember. First, prompting is a skill you can learn. Second, building with AI is a dance. It's an iterative process. But the result is that these tools are truly democratizing software development, and that massive barrier between a great idea and a working product is getting smaller every single day.
And this leads to a fascinating change in what skills are valuable.
It's not about knowing how to code anymore. It's about being an excellent manager. Think of the AI like a brilliant, super-fast intern who is also completely literal. It will do exactly what you tell it to do. So your job is to give crystal clear, precise instructions.
And all of this leaves us with one last really powerful question to think about. For so long, the biggest thing stopping people from creating software has been knowing how to code. Now that that barrier is crumbling, the only limit is your imagination and your ability to explain your vision. So the question is no longer, can you build it? The question is, what will you build?